Hello, we can start now.
Sir,
Start చేయాలన్నా
sir, wait. I will.
వెయిట్ చేయాలా
Sir, can
No,
I
no,
start, sir?
no. Ravi,
Sir, can I start?
start.
Okay. Welcome to everyone. Good evening to all. Today we have lecture series 38. On this day, we have the topic right to religious freedom as a fundamental right of Indian Constitution. So, eminent speaker and Professor Dalit Kumar is here. So, I will introduce you briefly. Uh, Professor Dalit Kumar is a former dean, faculty of law, Usmania University and Telangana University, and advocate, High Court of Telangana. And also is doing LLD at Damodara Sanjay National Level University. International level renowned speaker and author on various books and articles published at global and national level. Under his guidance, High Court former judge and first Telangana State Human Rights Committee chairman, Justice G. Chandraya Garu, former TS Justice Venkateswar Reddy, and the renowned scholars from various countries from the globe done PhDs and doing PhD courses, including 2 foreign and 18 Indian scholars. So he visited few countries and giving lectures like Kuwait, US, UK, Canada, Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, Nepal, Bhutan, etc. He is a member in various academic and research bodies across the globe and regular TV debates in Telugu and English channels. Vinay Kumar sir, welcome you once again. So welcome you sir on behalf of CDS and organizers. Please sir, carry on.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సిడిఎస్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ దిస్ ఆపర్చునిటీ వండర్ఫుల్ ఆపర్చునిటీ అండ్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ ది ఫౌండర్ ఆఫ్ ది సిడిఎస్ Malepe Lakshmana and all other team of the CDS and the followers of the CDS. The now the who are the viewers of this my lecture. I thank all of you and JB. So today the topic is religious freedom. So why I have chosen this topic? Because now there is a lot of debate is going on about this religious freedom. After death of the Praveen Pagadala, now it has become a global phenomenon discussion, the debate issue about the religious freedom of Dalits more particularly. So why we have to debate and discuss and aware about this constitutional perspective of the religious freedom? Why Ambedkar has given much more priority for the religious freedom? Baba Sahib Ambedkar, when you just read out about his concept and Ambedkar's perspective on religion is quite different. It is not a God-based or the heaven-based, hell-based religion. The religion which shows the path for liberation, either it is social liberation, economical liberation, political liberation, individual emancipation, ultimately the entire emancipation of the society. So that is the ultimate aim of the choosing the religion as a morality, the way of life. So Ambedkar's perspective we can't find in the constitution itself. Why I'm telling this? Because The crores of the Dalits in India at the global level, their right to religion is denied by the Constitution itself. The Constitution itself prohibited the right to religion as a fundamental right of the Dalits. That is a basic question before us to debate and discuss about that. So before that, why Constitution has given much more priority for religion as a fundamental right? From Article 25 to 28 clearly mentioned about the definition defined about the freedom of religion, right to freedom of religion. So what do you mean by the religion? So many think that religion is based on the God or goddesses. It is half true. It is not full true. Because if you see the dictionaries, Oxford Dictionary, Encyclopedia of Stanford University, or at the global universities encyclopedias, if you read out, there is no accurate definition for religion. But ultimately, we had to agree that there is a religion. So it is a Latin word. Religion is a Latin word, religio. It is nothing but, just conscience. What do you mean by the conscience? Conscience is nothing but you are knowing something to adopt by the commitment of that practice. You know what is Buddhism, you know what is Christianity, you know what is Hinduism, you know, and what is the other religions. You know that their philosophy and foundation practice. Then only you are able to adopt it. That is fully with consciousness. Not only with the faith of that religion, practice also. Faith is different from the practice. So Constitution of India clearly defines about the freedom of consciousness, freedom of profess, propagate, and practice of the religion. That is Article 25 clearly says or defines the religion which you can, with consciousness, you can adopt it, you can profess it, promote it, practice it, propagate it. That right guaranteed to everybody but except the Dalits. Why it is denied for only Dalits? Why not for other Indians? The particular life of the Dalits are different from the other society. Either it may be OCs, BCs, or at least STs. So when I want to start with the right to religion as a fundamental right, what do you mean by the fundamental right? The fundamental right, you can also get a remedy through our courts as a fundamental right. Article 32 clearly says about that, you can get remedy under Article 32, under Article 226 in the High Courts, and Article 32 by the Supreme Court itself. You can. But unfortunate thing is, same Constitution is prohibited to get a remedy of a Dalit to convert into Christianity, into Islam. Even previously, the Buddhists, even previously Sikh Dalits, Buddhist Dalits also. But fortunately, after the fighting of the Buddhist and the Dalits, Buddhist and Sikh, being a Indian religion, both are the Indian religions. The constitutional, the parliament, rulers are agreed to give the reservations for the, Buddhist and the Sikhs, even the Jains also maybe. They are part of the Hinduism. So why the Christianity and why Islam is not at all recognized by our so-called rulers? Because it is these two religions are the foreign religions. So that is the reason why they are denied only for Dalits, not for the upper caste, not for the OBCs, not for the even scheduled tribes. The converted Christianity of the scheduled OCs, BCs, and scheduled tribes can avail their reservations, even converting into Christianity and Islam. But it is only denied for the Dalits. So that is the fundamental violation of the fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution. Constitution itself prohibited under Presidential Order 1950, Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution prohibits to give the equal treatment, equal dignity, equal status, and equal rights of religious rights to the Dalits. That is the strategy of Dalits in India, more particularly. Why I am telling all this? Why I am comparing? Because when we are talking about the religious freedom is denied, constitutionally denied. When Baba Sahib Ambedkar, a law minister, then this was adopted. So unfortunate thing is Baba Sahib Ambedkar lonely fight against all these odds of the Dalit rights, but no support from the constitutional bodies, no support from the intellectual community. They are afraid about the majority are the Brahmins. The Manuvadis are there in the Constituent Assembly. Even they are not ready to give an opportunity. Baba Sahib Ambedkar should become a architect of the Indian Constitution. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, by forcefully, because of the Britishers, he has become a member in the Constituent Assembly. Baba Sahib Ambedkar defeated in 1946 as a Constituent Assembly member from Pune. Our own people defeated him. Not to enter into the Constituent Assembly. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, if he enters into Constituent Assembly, what happens to the Constituent Assembly? What happens to this Brahminical attitude of the Constituent Assembly? What happens to the Manuvadis if Baba Sahib Ambedkar will become a chairperson or the member in the Constituent Assembly of India? You see, my friends, understanding of the Indian Constitution is different, and understanding Baba Sahib Ambedkar's perspective is different of Indian Constitution. In the Indian Constitution, Baba Sahib Ambedkar's ideology is very few. According to me, at least 15% of Baba Sahib Ambedkar ideologies are there, but 85% of the ideologies are Baba Sahib, not of Baba Sahib Ambedkar's ideologies. The ideologies from Europe, the Western countries, and the ideologies from even the Gandhian ideology, the left ideology, the right ideology. It is a mixed. Our Indian Constitution, a document of the mixed ideologies, not only the Baba Sahib Ambedkar ideologies. If you see, Baba Sahib Ambedkar stated a socialism concept, why it was not incorporated in the Constitution? Why? Denied. Because if the state socialism concept of Baba Sahib Ambedkar includes in the Constitution itself, India can be liberated, either socially, economically, politically, culturally. because of the nationalization of the land, the nationalization of the agriculture, nationalization of the insurance, nationalization of the industries, so on and so forth. Baba Sahib Ambedkar wanted to liberate the entire India by implementing the constitution itself. But unfortunate thing is his ideas are not incorporated in the constitution, all except very few, that all joint electorates. Joint electorates, not the separate electorates. If you see Baba Sahib Ambedkar, how he has become a member, most of the people will know. Once again, I want to tell about how Ambedkar entered into a Constituent Assembly after defeating from the Pune by our own people, more particularly the Congress defeated him. The Congress don't want to Ambedkar as a Constituent Assembly member because Ambedkar perspective of writing of the Constitution to liberate entire India, not with the status quo of India, not Manavadi India. He want to liberate social revolution, economical revolution, and the political revolution and the cultural revolution. He want to liberate entire India. But unfortunate thing is that ideas are not incorporated in the constitution itself, but few of them general principles of the liberation, general principle of the liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice that were incorporated in the preamble, but in the constitution itself can't. The status quo principles are there. The status quo Indian principles. There is no economical revolution till the date after passing of the 78 of independent 78 of independent of India and 75 years of the independent of Constitution. There is no economical revolution which has defined in the Constitution of India. The property must be distributed. The social order must be destroyed. The economical order must be destroyed. Property must not be vested in the hands of the few people. Even education must be liberated. It must be distributed to everybody. It should not be for own community, because some communities. Under Article 21. Yay. So Ambedkar wanted, actually Ambedkar's philosophy itself to liberate individuals and the liberate Indian society. But unfortunate thing is the rulers don't want to liberate by implementing the constitution itself. They want to stop everywhere Baba Sahib Ambedkar's ideas, including right to religion. So Ambedkar wanted the Buddhist religion as a national religion. He wanted this religion to liberate the poverty, to liberate social, economical, and political life and the cultural life of the individuals and also society. That is the ultimate aim of the choosing of a religion. That too, more particularly the religion which not based on the God or goddess or hell or heaven. The religion which can liberate the entire your life, basing on the not superstitions, basing on the rationality, basing on the love, basing on the wisdom. That is ultimate aim of the Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar to wanted to convert into Buddhism as a liberated religion. So religion must be liberate yourself. But there is no meaning of liberation of anywhere. If you read out the Oxford Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, or Stanford Dictionary, what they defined as a religion, only three important principles: belief first, consciousness, belief, and the commitment towards the customary practices. That the three important aspects are there defined in these Stanford University Dictionary, Oxford University Dictionary, and Cambridge University, the topmost university dictionaries. They're not able to define what Baba Sahib Ambedkar's perspective of religion. The entire liberation of individuals and liberation of the society, the ultimate aim of the, to convert into Buddhism as a way of life. So that is the the ultimate aim of the Baba Sahib Ambedkar to convert into Buddhism as a way of life, as a morality of life, as a liberation. Religion must be liberate individuals and the liberate the society. So that is the broader concept of the Baba Sahib Ambedkar. But unfortunate thing is that that was not defined in the constitution itself. If you see Article 26 also, freedom of to manage the religious practices. 25 is giving consciousness and practice, profess and practice and propagate of the your religion. 26 giving freedom of the to manage your religious institutions and develop your religious institutions. And Article 27 defines about the payment of taxes for your religious development, religious institutions. And Article 28 defines about the freedom to religious practices, institutions, and so worship, so on and so forth. But where is the definition of the liberation from the religion? The religious perspective of Ambedkar is quite different. But you can't find that liberated concept in these right to religious freedom defined in the Constitution of India from Article 25 to 28. My friends, when I coming to the Dalit perspective, more particularly Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims, even Dalit Hindus, even Dalit Buddhists, and Dalit Sikhs, so on and so forth. Why Ambedkar wanted to liberate these communities, Dalit communities? Why he proposed, why is not chosen the Christianity? Why is not chosen the Islam? Even Sikhism. Why is chosen Buddhism? So I told about that the liberation. Liberation is the ultimate aim of the Baba Ambedkar for conversion. But unfortunate thing is, in the conversion, it has become very conspiracy now. The conversion word itself a conspiracy now. Why it has become very conspiracy? Because there is a all communal states like Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, the other states. Now it has become a very controversy. The conversion has become a very controversy. But conversion is nothing but liberation. You are converting into one religion to liberate yourself. But unfortunate thing is that was stopped by the by the law itself, by the law constitution itself. Babu Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India, stopped the religious freedom of the Dalits, of the Christian Dalits and the Muslim Dalits. So I want to tell you one incident about my friends. While I'm teaching, I'm giving my lectures in Kuwait. In 2023, month of December, they invited me. The Indian Muslims are invited me to give lectures in various parts of Kuwait. The Dalit Christian came to there, and the Dalit Muslims also came to that meeting, and they raised two important questions. Professor, we know, sir, you came from India to Kuwait to educate the rights of the minorities, Indian minorities, to protect the Indian minorities' rights. But you believe or not, the same Indians are practicing untouchability of Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims. Those are working in the houses of the upper caste or the BCs, Muslims who migrated from India to Kuwait, settled there. Our people, Dalit people, are also they're working in Kuwait. They're directly raised. You are talking about the rights of the the suppressed, the personalities by the Muslims themselves suppressing our rights. They are practicing untouchability there. They are denying to enter the Dalit Muslims into mosques. They are denying, the Christians also. One church is there. The Catholic Church is there. In the Catholic Church itself, there, these, Dalit Christians are denying to enter into Catholic Church, where they had to go. Only one Catholic Church is there in Kuwait. Dalits are not enter into, they are prohibited to enter into Catholic Church, Dalit Christians. Dalit Muslims are prohibited to enter into mosques, where they have to liberate themselves by praying or by practicing of their faith. That is the basic question that they raised before me. I realized, yes, correct. Your question is correct. I realized myself, why I had to fail to address my people liberation, more particularly about the Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims in India, in abroad. So when I visited to Columbia University, when I visited in Harvard, Oxford, when I visited you know uh, London School of Economics, so on and so forth, I focused on the more particularly about the Ambedkar's perspective of rights, Indian Constitution, human rights perspective of Ambedkar, and caste discrimination of Ambedkar's perspective, and so on and so forth. But I never concentrated on Dalit Christian and Dalit Muslim issues where they are very suppressed and depressed their rights by constitution itself. By constitution is prohibited that the right to religion is a fundamental right itself. Since 1950 onwards, till the date, there is no liberation for them. Even the Sikhs are liberated some little bit. Even the Buddhists are liberated some little bit because they are part of the Hinduism. They define itself. But why the Adi Hindus, like Dalit Christians, Dalit Muslims, previously they are Hindus. But why their right to religious fundamental rights are denying itself by the constitution itself? So why we are unable to address this issue? That basic fundamental question, I realized myself in the Kuwait itself. My friends, when we are talking about the right to religious freedom for Indians, much more OCs are getting much more freedom to convert into religions. Even BCs are having the right to convert into religions, other religions. Even still, even at least to tribal people, ST people also, they have the right to convert, right to propagate, right to profess any religion. They will claim their reservations, they will claim their all constitutional rights guaranteed to them. But why only denied for Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims, those who are indigenous people of India? This is one of the very important area to address while talking about the religious freedom is not equally applicable to every citizen of this country. All are equal before the law, and equal protection of the laws are guaranteed under Article 14 to 18. There is a lot of landmark Supreme Court judgments are there. Even in several issues, in several cases, the Supreme Court of India, you can change your religion, but you cannot change your caste. The caste is the main, curse of the Indian society to stopping your liberation. But unfortunate thing is that, we are not discussing about the caste perspective of religious conversion, of more particularly about the Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims, including the Dalit Hindus, Dalit Sikhs, and Dalit Buddhists. Those who are the son of the soils and daughters of the soil. This is our India. The constitution framed by our father, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, our father. But our rights are denied. Constitutionally denied. Constitutionally discriminated. Even we can find out the landmark judgments by the Supreme Court itself. Biggio Emmanuel versus State of Kerala, 1987. The national anthem, the Muslim students are denied to pronounce the national anthem. They dismissed it. The school management dismissed it. The students, they approached to the High Court or with the parents. The High Courts also supported the decision by the school management. They approached to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court upheld the decision by the High Court and given judgment in favor of the students. They are the Muslims. They have the right to propagate religion, not Dalit Muslims. They are. For your kind information, they are the Muslims, not Dalit Muslims, other than the Muslims. They have the right to propagate religion, promote religion, practice religion under Article 25. So the suspension was removed. They are allowed to rejoin in this college, school. That means the Muslims are now getting their religious rights as a fundamental right. The Constitution protecting them. Even some other case, Ahmedabad St. Xavier's College. It is a Christian institution. More particularly, upper caste are running the institutions. Upper caste Christians are running the institutions. So in this case also, they want to protect their autonomy, minority status, dual benefits from the government itself and minority status and autonomy to sell their seats. But the High Court is dismissed, but Supreme Court supported in the name of the religious, rights, the minority rights. Even the minority autonomy of the upper caste institutions they are managing the institutions, colleges. They have their own right to manage under Article 26, 27. They have the right to manage and pay the taxes of their institution, develop their institution, minority institutions. The Supreme Court supported the college. And if you see a Shabano case, a triple talaq case, the Supreme Court, supported the Shabano. The triple talaq is violating the fundamental rights of a woman and denying their maintenance as per the Hindu women, as per the Christian women, as per the other women, Parsi women, so on and so forth. But the Supreme Court supported Shabanos and suspended the triple talaq given by her her husband. Likewise, if you see the even one Reverend Stanson versus State of MP Madhya Pradesh is a priest, is also upper caste priest. So the Supreme Court, a Catholic priest, so the case filed against him regarding conversions, but ultimately the Supreme Court has given judgment in favor of the priest under Article 25 to 28. They have the right to freedom of religion, profess, propagate, and that won't, meaning of the conversion. By the choice of the people, are they are converting into Christianity, not by the forced conversion. So that was struck down. The High Court decision, which violates the MP Freedom of the Religious Act 1968, but supported the upper caste priest. Likewise, if you see any case filed in the Supreme Court itself, non-Dalits are getting justification under these 25 to 28 articles. Right to religious freedom under Indian Constitution. Why the Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims are denying after 30 years of the pending and the Supreme Court itself to give a equal status with the Dalits of Sikhs, Dalits of Buddhists, because they converted into Christianity. Their caste is not changing by converting into Christianity, by converting into Islam. Still, they are suffering with the caste. The reservations not based on the religion, the reservation based on the social backwardness, educational backwardness. But unfortunate thing is, after Modi's government, economical backwardness also included in the constitution itself. Under Article 15 and 16 clause, adding amendment to the Constitution of India without reasonable commissions, without any statistics. Now they are asking about the caste census for OBCs, exceeding of the 50%, even after commission's reports. The Supreme Court upholding, the High Courts are upholding for ceiling of the 50%, which there is no constitutional provision is there. 50% of the ceiling of the reservations. Even the Supreme Court 9 benches judgment has given in favor of them. Putting of the ceiling is violating of the fundamental rights of the backward classes. But even though the Brahmanical Supreme Court, they are stopping up to 50% without reasonable cause. But all commissions, national commissions, backward classes commissions, including 9 bench judgment, also supported ceiling of the 50% is violating the fundamental rights to education, employment of the backward classes. But unfortunate thing is that the Brahmanical, the upper caste hegemony over the Supreme Court, our rights are denying, our judgments are not coming in favor of us. In general cases are different. I am talking about the religious freedom. I am talking about the untouchability. I am talking about the caste discrimination cases. Because being a professor of law, I taught in the in Osmania University, a great institution, more than 100 years. I am the youngest dean in the faculty department of law. No professor from Brahmin community, Reddy community, Kama community, other communities has becoming a dean at the age of mine. Because of the Baba Sahib Ambedkar's reservations, I got an opportunity to become a professor of law. At first Dalit principal of the law. So I first dean from Dalit community in the Department of Law. So on and so forth. But my right to become a law state convener is denied because of I'm a Dalit. Even I have a, qualifications more than all the upper caste, more particularly Reddys. I have visited various, parts of the topmost universities in the world and given my research papers and lectures. But I literally denied my right to become a law state convener in the Department of Law because of my caste discrimination. A Reddy has become 4 times as a law state convener. Even I became a dean of the law. That is the discrimination part of our rights everywhere in the nook and corner, not only in India, elsewhere in the world, at the global level. Our rights are denying because of the untouchables, because of the Dalits. Because of this reason only, our right to religious freedom as denying thousands of years back until the date. Even our Justice First Dalit, Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, is now a chairperson for the Dalit Christian, Dalit Muslim conversion issue, but he is silent. He is not at all in favor of this issue to protecting the Dalit rights. Now, the second Dalit CJ, fortunately, Justice Gawai Garu is now become a CJ of India. But what happens, what judgment he will give on Dalit Christian and Dalit Muslim conversion issue, still it is pending since long back till the date. Unfortunate thing is that, CJ of KG Balakrishnan, sir, has, also rejected our plea. Being a previously is a Dalit Christian. His father is a Dalit Christian. His family, entire family is a Dalit Christians. Not now. Because, Garvapasi, they came Garvapasi because of the forces of the Hindutva. Because of they wanted to post after retirement also. So that is the unfortunate thing is happening, because I have resigned myself as a professor. I have 12 years more service. For the social justice cause, I have resigned myself, my 3 lakh salary, for the cause of the BCCU, for the cause of the social justice Telangana. I never begged. I have never taken any post from the so-called upper caste people. I never begged them. Because my icon is Baba Sahib Ambedkar. He never begged. Even he never begged the Britishers. He never, because of his talent, he got opportunities. Because of his merit, because of his talent, he has become a member in the Constituent Assembly and the chief architect of the Constitution of India. He is the only right person. He is the only capable person in India that was proposed by the Britishers. The world intellectual like Baba Sahib Ambedkar is a capable person. He never begged. He never bestowed his face in front of any Britishers or any upper caste, even including Gandhiji, except to the one aspect here, that is, Pune Pact, joint electrodes. That is a root cause for, the Dalit communities has become a slave, political slavers, employment, educational slavers, employment slavers. Unfortunate thing is that Baba Sahib Ambedkar by forcefully has signed the joint agreement. The Pune Pact resulted that the slavery is still in religion also. By forcefully we are living with the the Haindava forces, not Hindutva forces, Haindava forces, by practicing of the untouchability and the caste discrimination in everywhere, every nook or corner of the India. Every officer, including IPS, IAS, chief secretary, DGP level, so on and so forth. Even President of India denied to enter into the temples. The President of India, even a tribal woman, denied to at least at least to open the parliament itself, the new parliament itself. Her rights as a defense, chief defense. She is the chief defense for three, key organs of the Indian nation. But she never declared war, but declared by the Modi ji. That is also one of the discrimination. So, my friends, everywhere, the president to the village secretary, everywhere there is a discrimination for the Dalits. If you got any position, if you got any power, that is powerless power. So that is the reason why Ambedkar wanted separate electrodes and separate settlements for our communities to liberate ourselves. But unfortunately, thing that was not, happened. Till the date, there is no fighting for the separate electrodes and separate settlements of the Dalit communities. Till the date, there is no demand for a separate country for Dalits. Even our all freedoms, all fundamental rights are denying, after passing of the 75 years of the independent Constitution of India. You believe or not, my friends, the independent Constitution of India is having 300 years of history. So many thousands of the peoples are died for the to independent Constitution. We are just reading about the history of the independent India, but we are not reading about the evolution of independent Indian Constitution. The independent Indian Constitution only protecting the India now after passing of the 78 years of the independent of Indian Constitution is protecting independent India. So many countries, even Pakistan, you see how it was, divided into Bangladesh. Now Balochistan is ready to divide. But India is united because of the Constitution. Indian people are united because of the Constitution. That was written by Baba Sahib Ambedkar. That is the greatness of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, who wrote a beautiful, world, great, principled Indian Constitution based on the liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice. These noble principles he has taken from Buddhism, not from the French Revolution, not from the American Revolution, not from the Russian Revolution. He has taken, he himself told, Buddha is my first guru. And I was adopted this principle from my Lord Buddha, my first guru Buddha. Liberty. Liberty, he has given much more priority. There is no liberty for, conversion. There is no liberty for, religious conversion. The Dalits are denied their liberty to convert into other religion. By forcefully, they have to live in the, untouchability. By forcefully, they have to live in the caste system. By forcefully, the Haindava forces are by adding the, constitution without consent of the parliament, without debate and discuss in the parliament itself, how a ordinance still 1950 onwards, the 2025, how it will, continues without debate and discuss in the parliament. Even president is having the powers. Why Murmuji, his powers are, questioning in the Supreme Court? Why same Supreme Court is not questioning the same, denial of the right to religion for Dalits since 35 years? It is pending in the Supreme Court itself. Because Dalits are not human beings. Dalits are not real Indian citizens. Dalits are inhumans, secondary citizens of this country. Even the constitution written by our own father. That is the pity of Dalits. converting into religious aspect. The right to religion as a fundamental right is denied itself by the constitution, where we have to go, where we have to ask our rights to religious practice or convert into other religion, where we have the liberty to liberate ourselves by converting into other religions. Why you are stopping? Why you are denying our fundamental rights, which the constitution clearly defines about the right to religious practices, right to freedom of religion is applicable for every citizen of this country. But why only prohibited for us? So we have number of parliament members are there in the parliament. Why they are not able to ask these questions in the parliament itself? Why Rahul Gandhi failed to implement the promise he has given the promise long back? BJP at least it is opposing in the openly telling that no, we can't give because BJP is afraid if the Christianity will become much more, if the Islam will be much more, that will endanger to the nation. So that is the reason why my friends, understanding of the religious freedom of the religion to others are different. Indian in OBC communities, OC communities, scheduled tribe community is different, and the Dalits' right to religion as a fundamental right is different. So, my friends, why I have taken nearly 1 hour time already. Lakshmana is telling about to conclude this. I want to stop it. I'm going to conclude, but finally I want to tell you that my friends, most of the here this is the Center for Dalit Studies. That is the reason why I focused on Dalit laws, particularly their religious rights, which are guaranteed by the Constitution itself. So any questions from the participants? So I want to clear. Kindly, Lakshmana, please give time to feedback. So I thank all the participants, more particularly Lakshmana, to
I,
give
I,
a wonderful opportunity to share my views on this
this
topic.
this is the national platform. This. I think we are going to have a publish all the lectures which you are presenting every person on that lecture day. Then second thing is we are also putting in YouTube every lecture.
Yeah,
I think this is the 38 lecture. Third thing, we are going to have a one congregation in 2026 January in Hyderabad with the 75 our great scholars who delivered lecture on Constitution. The three things I want to tell you. The another thing, because I asked to conclude, we have a time to interact also.
yeah, yeah.
Then
Okay,
this
certainly,
open
certainly.
for the discussion. I think every lecture like this,
Okay, no worry, no
people
worry.
will interact with you. Then anything they want to clarify, as they have a suggestion, question. I think I request Ravi to moderate this thing, and I am now open to the dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vinod, sir, for a wonderful lecture. And I request all the participants have any questions and clarifications, please ask speaker.
Please kindly ask the questions because you are able to. I thought that you are able to understand my lecture. Otherwise,
Sir, I am audible, sir.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am engineer Ahmad Rose from Himachal, and Professor Sir you have transpired about the uh, past and present history of the Dalits here also, and the inadequate behavior with the marginalized communities. You explained for it very well. And today's the subject is that the right to religious freedom is a fundamental right of Indian Constitution. So religion is a matter of individual belief or faith, a right to freedom of religion. Although there is right to freedom of religion under Article 25, as per conscious and this propagation, you can propagate it and preach it. But my question is that uh, uh, there might be certain limitations also in this right. So what are those, sir?
The
And
limitation, sir.
limitations of propagating and preaching and all that. There must be some this limitations to preach it and propagate by
Yes,
the government.
limitations are there for every fundamental right, sir. Not only this religious freedom. From
Yeah.
starting fundamental right, Article 14 to 32, there is a limitations are there. They are not absolute rights.
Yeah.
So, for the morality of the society and the social order and the health, we have to follow the policy, government policies. What are the rules framed by the government? We have to follow. What are the anti-conversion laws made by the government in the particular states? We have to follow, but they should not violate the our fundamental right as a constitutional right as a religion, right to convert, right to faith to any god, any goddess. But that was, stopping. So that is the one of the biggest, conspiracy of the so-called forces, find our forces. So that is my basic question. But all rights which are having the, limitations, even
Okay.
all fundamental rights, even all fundamental, including right to life at the time of the emergency. At the time of emergency, right to life sometimes denies in some cases. Even Supreme Court, given judgments in favor of the right to life as a right to liberty, right to privacy. So even during the emergency, also this only one fundamental right can be guaranteed, but the remaining all can be suspended. So that is the reason why there is a rights are not absolute rights. They have their own limitations as per the Indian constitution and also as per the social order and policy of Indian policies on, for example, health. Health is the one of the big challenge for us. No, you should not
Right.
violate the health grounds. Either by making of the noise in churches or in mosques or in
Right.
temples, so on and so forth. There is a restrictions are there. So we must abide that, basing on the health grounds of the people, that rules framed by this particular state and particular even nation itself.
Right, sir. My this supplementary question is there also
Yeah.
that could the religious education be imparted with which is being run by the grant of government?
Yes,
Religious
the government,
education must
the
be
government,
imparted.
yes, government is giving, minority status funds. Even government is giving special packages for the minority institutions. Even special admissions also is there for minority institutions in India. But after Modi came, they wanted slowly to stop the minority status for the minority institutions, even including universities like Maulana institutions, like in Delhi, the status, minority status, it
Right.
has gone to some Islamic universities are there. So Modi's government wanted to abolish all minority status of the institution, but that is violation of the fundamental rights of the minority people, more particularly violation of the Article 25, 26, 27, and 28. Now, which is guaranteeing to establish your minority institutions, education institutions, and propagate that institutions. Even the government of India has given funds also, separate funds for them. separate
Sir,
seats for them.
yes, sir. Uh, is there freedom to get it or not?
Certainly, we will get it. We will get it certainly, but basing on the government policy, so that we have to fight for the rights. Our people, the people are fight against the CNA, NRC, so on and so forth. We also fight for the rights of the religious rights. More particularly, right to religion as a fundamental right, we must protect it because a religion can liberate the individuals and also the society. So that is
Sir,
the ultimate aim of the
yes,
conversion into religion.
right, sir. So, can the government incur expenditure uh, in the name of religion, which is received from the public?
Certainly, why not? Government is running, government is controlling the endowment department. Even the government is, recently, stopped the work board, misusing of the work board property. Even government ready to, misusing of the Christian properties. Coming days, they also wanted to, make a law about the Christian properties. So that must be used for the poor Christians and poor Muslims and poor Hindus and poor Parsis. But the unfortunate thing is that the rich people, the upper caste people are using that money, that property for their sake. Even even if you see the Christianity is first adopted by the Britishers or by Brahmins, adopted the Christianity, Brahmins adopted the Islam. They dominating in the Islam and Christianity also. Brahmins and upper caste in Christianity also. So they are enjoying the fruits of the Christianity lands, Christian, properties, Christian churches, money, crores of the money they are enjoying, but they are not at all giving, for the poor Christians. They are not at all using that money to the poor Christians. That is unfortunate thing is happening in India. So that is the reason why Modi government want to regulate the properties of the even Christians, even the Muslims apart from the Hindus.
Right, sir. Uh, uh, is punishment justified for those who are involved in conversion?
Punishment,
Punishment is there
punishment
now.
by only the force and fraud conversions. Only force and fraud conversions that must be proved. The collector is the chairperson. Collector is the chairperson for that. Before going to courts, before filing a case, the police must be go to the collector and inquire that matter about is it happening really or not. Is a judicial magistrate. Collector is a judicial magistrate. Even baptism, the Christian baptism issue also can be taken by the collector itself. If the collector approves only, then they will file FIRs. So that is the lengthy of the process is there, but nobody is following. No police knows about that. No police knows about
Dalit,
that. They are
Dalit,
directly kind of filing the FIRs.
yeah.
Fortunately, some courts are protecting the rights of the the people. So many cases in favor of the victims also.
Sir, give
Dalit,
time to others also, sir.
Sorry.
Give time to others also to question any
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Dear sir, requesting.
Sir, I have one question.
Sir,
I am Mahendra Kumar from Jaipur.
sir.
Sir, what should be our approach regarding Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims being given reservation? Because we are not clear. Some organizations are opposing, some are in favor, some are against. So we wanted to have your fair view. What should be the, as a
Sir,
Dalit,
sir,
what should
sir,
we get?
before Christianity, before Islam, or before Buddhism, or whatever the religion they converted, but they're all untouchables. They're all untouchables, sir. First, they're all untouchables. We are by being an untouchable, we are one. We are not separate. No, even categorization issue, scheduled caste reservation issue, I raised this question. I raised it strongly. I opposed strongly Madhya Dandora movement by blaming the Malas in our Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Our two states, the Malas, no, the Madigas are blaming the Malas No, the Malas are not the rulers. The Malas are not exploited the rights of the Madigas. The reasons are different. Because of the British rule in Andhra, they grabbed the reservations benefits. In Telangana, both Malas and Madigas are both are denied. You know, they even educationally they backward, employmentally they backward. Telangana Malas and Madigas, how they exploited the Madigas are Malas are exploited in Telangana, grabbing the opportunities of Madigas. It is quite that is a wrong notion of the blaming of the Malas in both states. So that we are untouchables, we are equal. Even the caste is different. The castes are different but in the stigma of the untouchability, we are uniting one. We are one. So even for conversion also, this principle is applicable. Even you are a Buddhist, even you are a Sikh, you are a Christian, even you are a Muslim of Dalits, you are untouchable. You are discriminated basing on your caste, not basing on the religion. So that is the reason why we are untouchables. We are facing the problem everywhere. Even in Buddhist also, the upper caste Buddhists discriminating the Dalit Buddhist, or the BC Buddhists are discriminating the Dalit Buddhist. Even in Sikhism, same thing is applicable. So even in Christianity, same is applicable. The upper caste, Christians are not at all accepting the rights of the Dalit Christians. Even in Islamic society, the Dalit Muslims are facing a lot of discrimination over the OBC and upper caste Muslims. So for this, we are one, we are untouchables. If we are converted into Islam or Christianity or Sikhism, whatever it may be, but we are one. We must give support for them. We must take the support from them. So we are one.
Then the problem lies with the caste, not with the religion.
Yes. That's what Baba Saheb Ambedkar wanted to annihilate the caste. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, his entire life is sacrificed to remove the caste from the Indian society. But unfortunate thing is that still it is practicing in the name of reservations. We are demanding ourselves to, basing on the caste, we are a double-edged knife. Our people are double-edged knife. One side we are, propagating annihilation of the caste. Another side we are demanding for reservations. So that is one of the blame upon us. So that we had to clearly mention the reservations meant for the representation, not to liberate ourselves educationally, employmentally. Ultimately, we had to fight for the removal of the caste or annihilation of the caste. So that Baba Saheb Ambedkar proposed reservations as a representation in 1909, in 1935, in 1919. So these, these three important acts, all are represented. So separate electrodes are there for Muslims, Christians, OBCs, women. That only the Dalits are denied. Only the Dalits are denied their separate electrodes in 1909, 1919, 1935 Act. But due to the Baba Saheb Ambedkar's fight with the Britishers during the roundtable conferences, we got separate electrodes and separate settlements in the name of the communal award. But unfortunate thing is that because of the Gandhiji, that were not accepted by the so-called rulers. Now we are enjoying only the joint electrodes, the slavery rights, not the liberated rights.
But once Supreme Court has said caste cannot be changed, you can change the religion. So means we will always remain with that same caste.
Yeah, that's what.
So how it can be abolished? In the present system, it can't be abolished.
Yes, it can also. If you see Article 17, why Article 17 incorporated in the Constitution? Abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability. What is the root cause for untouchability? What is the root cause? Caste system is the root cause for untouchability.
Yes.
So until unless you are unable to root out the caste system, how can you abolish the untouchability? It is a fake. Article 17 is a fake article. which is telling about the, double standards of the constitution. So the Gandhian perspective, one side he wanted, caste system, other side he wanted to remove untouchability.
Yeah, Varna
So that
system.
is the reason why Ambedkar, mentioned him as a stupid. Gandhi as a stupid. Gandhiji as a stupid. So stupid mind said, how can you, remove the untouchability without removing of the caste system? So that is one of the, biggest conspiracy of Gandhiji, of, practicing of untouchability and existing of the caste system by, introducing the joint electoral system. So Dalits are also part of the Hinduism. But unfortunate thing is that Dalits are not Hindus. Hindus in the sense Haindavas. Hindu is nothing but Sindhu. So Hindu is a way of life. Hindu is not a religion. Why you have to afraid about the Hinduism? Why unnecessarily we are
Do you
blaming and
think
hate the Hinduism?
Sir, do you think that Dalits are Hindus?
100%. Why not? Why not? Adi Hindus. We are Adi Hindus. You see that here,
So
Bhagirathi Varma.
one side you are not accepting the Manusmriti, and other side
Manusmriti
you
is
say that
different.
we are Hindus. Then I don't
Manusmriti is
know.
there in Haindava, in the Hindutva, Haindava. Haindava is from Hindutva. Hindutva is different. In Hindutva, there is no Varna system, no caste system. Even Supreme Court said that it is a way of life, it is not at all religion. Why we have to accept as a religion?
Okay. Hinduism is not religion.
It is not religion. When it
Right.
is not a religion, there is no caste system, there is no Varna system. Only the Varna system is there in Haindava, Vaishnava, Vaishnavatvam, Haindavatvam. It is not Shaivatvam.
Right.
Right? We are misunderstanding a Baba Sahib Ambedkar perspective of, hating of Haindavatva and Hindutva.
Sir, anybody is there?
Any questions?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, I hope you remember me. We met in Eid.
Yeah.
I have a question not related to religion.
Yeah.
I just wanted your knowledge on, is reservation required in private educational institutions? Because I was questioned by someone saying if you bring reservation in private educational institutions, government institutions would be killed and government jobs would be killed, and it will lead to more privatization. So my doubt is there a need for reservation in private educational institutions, and how will it benefit us?
Yes, 100% reservations are required in the private sector itself. Why? Because until unless the caste system exists, that is the only caste census is the only criteria to get the benefits, either in the private sector, in the government sector. So why not? Why private sector is there denying our right to get the share? All the private institutions comes under the Article 12 of the Indian Constitution and Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. What Indian Constitution defines about the Article 12 and 13? Article 12 and 13 clearly says about the defines about the state. What do you mean by the state? State includes the central government and the state government, the individuals, the institutions, the private parties, the private companies, all part of the state. If you are under the part of the state, you are defined under the state, you are getting the benefits from the banks, you are getting the subsidies from the banks, you are getting the subsidy from the electricity department, you are getting all the benefits from the government of India, government of the states, even land. Why you are to deny to get our share? So the government is nothing but the people. People is nothing but the government. So when we are part of the government, when the private companies are part of the government, where is the question of individual ownership?
But till now, private institutions are not part of state. Till now,
it is part of state. Supreme Court judgment, you can read it. So Supreme Court judgment.
Which one? Which judgment, sir?
So 3-4 important judgments are there. The Supreme Court judgments. They mentioned clearly about private companies also part of the state.
Sir,
private companies, even Supreme Court.
any famous judgment, sir?
I forgotten to tell, but I will refer and I will send that, some
Okay.
electricity
Because
department
this is an
case.
important information, because till now we were under the impression that private companies, they are not part of state.
100% they are part of the state.
Okay.
My brother and sisters, 100% they are part of the state.
Okay.
They have to give the shares. They have to give the shares to the people of India
Okay.
because they are taking the taxes from the banks. The taxes we paid, we deposited the money. People's money is there in the banks. They are looting. They are looting the lakhs and crores of the people's money in the name of the taking loans. Most of the Gujaratis, most of the
And they are
Gujaratis are
they
the
are being
private
written
companies.
off. Later, they
Huh?
are being written off.
Yes, written off. So lakhs, 2,50,000 crores are written off by the Modi's government. So can we tell that whose money is that?
Our money. Yes.
Public.
Our money. When our
Public.
money is looted, who will be the responsible for that? So that is our responsibility to ask our share in the 2,50,000 crores, which was looted by the Modi's government, the tenure of the Modi's government. That is people's money. Nobody's asking. Nobody's fighting, including the opposition parties. All are upper caste parties. But what about our MPs, the reserved constituency MPs, ministers, central ministers, state ministers, MLAs? Why they are denying? Why their mouth is stopping to ask our rights? That is a basic because of the Pune Pact impact. So we got slavery post, slavery MP, slavery minister, slavery CM. So that's so on and so forth. They are unable to ask rights which are guaranteed by the Constitution of India. So certainly it is our duty to ask our rights guaranteed in the Constitution of India as a fundamental right. Even reservations in private sector also will become a fundamental right. Will become a fundamental right in coming days. In coming days, people ask for that. People make a movement for that. Certainly, they will make the amendment and give the opportunity. Even private reservations in private sector also will become the fundamental right.
But as per present condition, even reservation is not a fundamental right for Dalits also.
Why? Why? Because they don't want to become. They don't want to make a separate law. Still they are extending. Still they are extending.
Yes.
Why they are extending? Because we are beneficiaries. Now upper caste also beneficiaries in the name of the EWS. Nobody can stop now. Nobody can stop now to make a permanent law under the on reservations, including private reservations in private sector in coming days, because no private sector, if unable to give an opportunity, certainly the people will fight against that. They will close all the private sector in coming days.
So you mean to say private sector will be ended?
Certainly, if they will not provide the opportunity for our people,
Okay.
completely, we will deny to purchase the goods,
Okay.
produced in the private sector. If the campaigning will start. Certainly, they should give affirmative action. They should give affirmative action like America.
Okay. So
Like
Dalit the killing of government institutions or government institutions are no more relevant in this modern.
certainly, government intentionally wanted to killing the government institutions because we are asking our representation. So most of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are becoming IAS, IPAs, even the so very important positions we are enjoying, and we are equally sitting with upper caste by enjoying the fruits of the government sector. So they don't want. They want to Maradharma to implement in even private sector. There is no reservations at all. So they will deny our rights, right to education in private sector. Even there is a law is there 25% free seats must be given to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes as a fundamental right. as a law, as a not as a fundamental right, as a law which was made by the government of India. But nobody is implementing. Right to Education Act. Right to Education Act is guaranteeing 25% reservations in corporate and private schools or colleges. Nobody is implementing. But
I
nobody is
think
asking.
the reservation is for economically weaker sections. That includes SC/ST also. But reservation is not as per for Dalits only. It's for all economically weaker section. Right
Yes,
to
brother.
education.
Yes, brother. But the 25% reservations are given SC/STs in private and corporate sectors. More particularly SC/STs, even including if they're not eligible, if they are not there, then they will consider other people. But no state is implementing 25 reservations in private and corporate schools and colleges. But no MP from Dalit community, no leader from Dalit communities are fighting for that also. That is a law. Law is there, but nobody is implementing. Any question?
Yes, any questions or clarifications? Already 8:30. Long discussions going.
I think we can conclude.
If
Thank you
there
very
is no questions, you can conclude the
Vinod,
lecture.
my good friend, brother. I thank you. I thank you to all whoever attend this lecture. I think it's a very good lecture and very informative and eye-opening in so many issues. Thank you, Vinodji. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Anna. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you, one and all. Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim. Jai Bhim.
Sir,
Jai
one
Bhim.
small request.
Yeah.
I would like to be a part of the future meetings also, sir. How can I?
Certainly. You
Please,
just contact me. You can contact
Put
me,
them on the
Rajesh.
chat box.
please give your
Vijesh.
in the your chat box. Then we will.
My
Yeah,
number,
chat
sir.
box. Sir will give my number. Okay. Just you
Okay, I
contact
have
me.
your number, sir. I have your number. Okay, I'll text you.
Yeah, please. Huh? Okay. Thank you, one and all. Good night.
Thank you.